haven't even started. Steve Wilmes and Matt Kita, and we're here with another great episode of the Risk Control Show. Today, we're going to tell you why you can't get quality candidates like myself. Yes, I'm bragging, and like Matt. Why you can't get people like us to even apply to your organization. And sometimes you're like, well, we don't want people like you. Okay, let's get down to the brass tacks, though. There's a lot of people like myself who are hard workers and really care and want to go places and do things and will put a lot of work into the organization. And sometimes there's great companies out there that, hey, we wouldn't mind applying for something. We're set in where we are, but opportunities present themselves. This is like, I hear this all the time. We can't find good people. We can't find good people. We can't find good people.
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Right? And then we go, well, what are you doing?
Right. So, what are you doing to find the good people?
Yeah.
Exactly. What's happening?
Right. So we talk about fault versus responsibility all the time. And this is a two-way street. And we're going to talk about risk management in here. This is the hiring practice. But if you want great applicants to actually apply, then this is for you, right? This video's just for you. We got to get folks to start, boom, putting it in there. We have a friend. We have a person that works for us. We brought her on to do a few things for us here and there as a consultant. And she's very good, very talented, been all over the world, lived in Singapore, lived here, lived there, has traveled, willing to pick up, move her and her child and go where the things are. But that being said, she wants a full-time gig, and that's not something, I mean, we're just not at that point where we need that full-time. But we help her with her journey through trying to find this wonderful position, and she's out there applying all day, and it's very frustrating. And she gets the common rejection letters, blah blah blah, and we know what's going on there. It's not a person. She's like, can you believe this? They sent me a rejection letter, and you can tell it's pre-formatted and all this. But that's not the key. And then we're like, did you apply to this one? She's like, I started, but Now you may say people don't have follow through, and you're looking for follow through. Well, there's the difference between follow through and death by a million little cuts. What are we talking about? Matt, you were hiring manager for a long time, and
Yeah. And look, it used to be so easy, right? It's like, hey, we would just welcome. We'd take out a classified ad in the paper. This is back when papers were a thing. We would have people walk in, or it'd be like a word of mouth, but we would schedule a simple interview. We would hand them a piece of paper, Steve. They would write out the information. We go in and we'd send, we'd scan that, send that off to HR. We'd have an interview, and we'd go off of our interview methods to determine if we felt this person was worth a shot, and then we bring it on. It was simple. It was easy. They had to come in for, let's say, half hour, 45 minutes. That's it, and then they leave. We make a decision.
What? You actually had one-on-one personal conversations with people?
I know, hard to believe, right? I mean, of course, I was hiring for a restaurant, so we needed that one-on-one interaction. But it is amazing now in this post-COVID world that now we don't even have like live one-on-one interviews anymore.
This guy, right? Sam Altman. You've seen him before. He's the the CEO of OpenAI. They totally AI'd his ass. They fired his ass with a video link. They didn't even. You're the fucking CEO, and all you got is. Sorry, I cursed. but I don't care. I'm like,
it is amazing because you're upset. You're upset as a business owner and as someone who's been an employee before that someone would treat someone like that. I get,
yeah,
and
Matt
it's
and I
not
go
the
out. Matt and I go out when we're working, and our latest episode is, and I've heard this. I went on a date too, if you could believe this. And the ladies, you can always tell if someone's a good person if they are mean to your waiter or not. and you're like, sometimes the waiter needs to be smacked in the head, knocked out, and thrown on the street like the garbage, because that's exactly what they are. So Matt and I went to this restaurant in Monterey, and we've been there before. And I'm not going to mention the name, but you get the idea. It's an English type restaurant. So we're sitting there, and I had some responsibility to identify the sauce that they put on the plate. It's supposed to be horseradish. It's not. It's ranch dressing. But it's really kind of cold. And I thought it was creamy creamy horseradish, because when I tried to, tip it over, it was all there. So I scooped it out.
Right.
Anyway, I got ranch dressing all over my roast beef sandwich, and it's like, this is gross. So I wanted to get, I just wanted to get a new sandwich so I could enjoy the traditional. What was not roast beef, but it's French dip. Yeah,
French dip sandwich.
So anyway, I say to the waiter, hey, this is ranch. I'm not sure if you meant to bring ranch. He's like, I just work here. This is the way we serve it. I'm like,
yeah.
Really, the sandwich is $30 man. Like, this is how you're gonna treat me. So I said, but you know what? Maybe I could just speak to a manager. Well, so then you see him, and he's huddled up with all the other servers, and they're pointing and they're talking, about me, and I'm like, golly, really? This is how you're gonna treat? So manager never comes. So I say to the other lady, maybe I could speak to a manager. And she's like, well, you need to talk to him about, because she's already been in the football huddle over there in the corner, which we can obviously see. And then the manager comes over, and it's just like the worst service ever. And you're going, what is going on here? So sometimes, you know what? Try to be nice, and you're going to treat your waiter bad because they're a total piece of garbage, and you want to throw them out. And so, yes, you need to know, who am I hiring and how am I hiring, and do I have a one-on-one with this? But this is the way it goes, right? People treat people like crap now, and they think we're just getting efficiency. We're not going to schedule time to fire this CEO. They're afraid of their own shadow. We're just going to do a video link, fire the CEO, the guy that invented the company.
Right.
I heard this, and I'm like, this is how I got dumped by a long-term partner, like over the text. Like, I don't want to see you anymore. Okay.
Scary. Exactly. It's nuts, right? And I think that first of all, of course, as a former waiter in the eons of the past of my work history, obviously I would prefer that your waiter is always treated nicely. But having been there with you when that happened, that particular waiter didn't deserve that, that positive decision towards behaviorally towards him, because he made an active decision. He didn't tell the manager, but he told everybody else. And I even told,
I wasn't an a-hole to him. I was
you weren't. But you were stern. Because after a while he was clearly not responding. He was not gonna, and I even told you after, because it took the manager, even after we told the second individual, and the manager still took a long time to come over. And I was telling you afterwards that I was probably about 30. I wasn't even involved in this whole thing. I was just sitting there as a spectator. But as a former restaurant manager, I have a particular thorn in my side about managers who don't do their job. So when it took that long. I was about 30 seconds away from going up and finding the manager myself. I'm like, look, before you were dealing with my friend, now you're dealing with me. And I don't even have a problem. I'm a former manager in a restaurant.
Yeah.
I know what you go through. This is unacceptable.
Yeah.
That would not have gone very well. I think that,
So Matt always gets mad at me because he's like, why does everything have to be a lesson? So yeah, we watch people, and I get frustrated because I own a business, and we've been in business. This year will be 12 years. In January will be 12 years, and we consider ourselves successful. We're able to provide and do those things. I mean, obviously, we're never where we want to be, but we're making headway. And the idea here is, when I see these things, it totally irks me. When I see how people are treated, it irks me. When I see how employees treat employers, it irks me. When I see how employers treat employees, it irks me. I understand both sides. So I want to dive in because I know you guys are waiting. Like, where the hell is this point that he's going to get to?
Where are we going?
There is a point, and here it is. There's you're putting out applications. You might do things like this where you're on Indeed. You're writing job descriptions and you're asking people, "Hey, apply." Indeed has kind of taken care of some of this with the easily apply, which is good. And there's a lot of, hey, this is what we want. This is what we want. This is what we want. And I get it. But here's the key. This is the ding, 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 ding. This is what we're here to talk about is when I go to apply, what happens, Matt? What happens? When am I applying?
Well, usually you have like a web form that'll have maybe 5 or 6 pages. Oh, click here, then hit submit. And then here's a page, and then click submit. And here's a page. Oh, load up your resume by attachment. Oh, load, oh, could you load up a scan of your birth certificate or your social security card? It's and it'll go endless. And then at the end they'll go they'll say something. It's like, okay, we're going to perform your background check, and we'll send you a link to start the next step of the process. And you've already been at it for an hour or something like that. And you go like, and if you're unemployed, you're not going to do one application per hour. You want to do like 10 applications per hour.
Because it's all a numbers game now.
It's all a numbers game.
We've taken it out, right? It's like, oh, we posted a position and we got 300 applicants. Yeah, you got 300 applicants that are just going, apply here, boom, 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 boom. Well, you want quality applicants, and the quality applicants aren't the ones doing boom, 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 boom. And so where's the responsibility lie? Well, it relies on me, but I'm employed. I have a job. Sometimes, I may look for things that are out there for my friends or even for myself. Sometimes it's like, oh, when COVID hit initially, like, I wonder what this is gonna be like. and there's been times over the years prior to starting this that you look for things and like, wow, this is really crazy. I remember we were asked to come inside and to an organization. It's like, okay, so we go there and it's like application. Oh, can you send me your transcript? Well, I wasn't thinking about applying, and I'm halfway through this application process, and transcript. Well, hell, I haven't been in college for 30 years. And I've moved from St. Louis to Omaha to Pasadena to Redondo Beach, and it's like, okay, where I have a transcript. It's in a box somewhere.
Yeah. It's a process too to get it, Steve. If you want another copy, it's a pain in the butt to get it, because they keep that information locked down.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, let me come back to this. Can't move forward. Let me save this. Can't save it. So what now? I got to go through this whole process again? Well, I don't know. I got to go find where to get a transcript, send in money, da 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 da. When am I going to get it? It's got to be official, so it's got to have a stamp on it. Well, that's not going to happen. You know, you're going to scan it. They're going to ask for a copy. It's like, okay, what else do you need? So I can do all this at once. And that's the problem right there, folks. You put out a position and you say, apply, here's all the requirements, but you don't tell me what I need in order to apply. There's no place to save. There's no place to continue. You can't go forward, and you're missing out because I'm like, you know what? Death by a million little cuts. I don't want to work for a company that can't be transparent and forward facing and just give me a list of things that I'm going to need to submit.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And there should be, especially with the transcript, if you have someone and you're hiring for one of these positions that you want quality folks, like, am I holding on to a transcript from 30 years ago? I've been in the workforce for 30 years. Transcript, I don't even care.
Yeah, what you did in college, what you did in college does not really apply to who you are anymore. It's all about what you've done at that point. And it's silly to, it's silly to expect that, Yeah,
so, and the problem is, like, some of them are like, yeah, we need a high school transcript too. And you're like, okay. I mean, I've watched high schools. We've been in the school, but I've watched high school and student records burn to the ground. Good luck with that, right? I'm going to go back to the school that I went to with 300 kids from 40 years ago and say, hey, I need a transcript. Yeah, they probably will dig it up, but you know what? Yeah. Good luck with that. So in the time that takes, you're not even gonna see me. And then you're going to say, well, you missed the deadline. Okay, well, great. You just missed out is what you did, because there's no other option except this option. And you're saying you only want people. It's not that I'm not prepared. It's not that I'm irresponsible. It's not that I don't care. It's just, you came to me and asked me to apply for this thing. And now here I am, and I have no idea what you need.
Yeah. Yeah. They need to make that process simpler. And we really do, Steve. We really do need to, and I understand some jobs you can't do this because people are across the country and applying all over the place. But where possible, I really do believe you should have live one-on-one interviews.
Yeah.
So that you can actually, you see so much more in that than you can in a Zoom interview. So, and I understand it's not always going to be possible, but where it is, if you're choosing not to out of some kind of simplicity or anything like that, for you, not for candidates.
Well, it's the whole computer algorithm, especially with the lady that works for us. I said, send me your resume. I want to see what this looks like, and I'm looking, and there's a lot of great stuff. But the problem is, you don't know what the organization is saying they need, so it doesn't match up. They're using this computer algorithm to match up to, does it have this keyword? Does it have that keyword? Now it's getting a little better with AI, but still, the whole point is, even with AI, I was thinking about this too, Matt, like, I don't want to spend the time to write something, so I'll use AI to write it.
That's exactly, yeah.
And I did that to you the other day.
Yeah, but by the way, I did realize that.
Did you? Which one? Tell me what it was.
The letters, the letter post, yeah. I can tell. And I know that if you ever do that you'll go over it afterwards, because that's what anybody, side thing on AI, if you ever use AI to write, look it over before you push it forward and submit it, please.
But here's the thing. Why in the hell are we, it's the dumbest thing in the world. we got Twitter. We're limited to I don't know what it is now, but limited to 140 characters. So everything is capture everything in an emoji. Break it down to WTF or
Right.
IDK.
Make communication as efficient as possible, except that if not everybody is clued into the little tricks that you're doing or abbreviations or emojis, then it doesn't actually communicate anything. They'd have no idea what you're saying.
Right. So then to go, well, let's do AI and write this long thing. So I don't want to take the time to write something. So I tell AI, write me a letter to Matt. Give him feedback on his presentation. And then so it goes.
Yeah, a long one, right?
Yeah, it's got all this filler shit. It's like it's got all the stuff that you do when you're in 6th grade to get up to 300 words.
Right. Oh, absolutely. Right. It's like, wow.
And then you go, I don't have time to write it, but here, Matt, read this. Spend your time reading it. And so what's Matt do? He goes, copy, paste, AI, summarize this for me. It's the dumbest thing in the world. Like, why? I just call Matt and say, keep pace, start on time. Okay, thank you.
Message delivered, message received. It's easy,
the dumbest thing. It's like, we're gonna have AI write blog posts for us. We're gonna have AI write job descriptions for us, and then you're expecting someone, you don't want to take the time, but you're expecting someone to take the time and read all this stuff, and it's like, be respectful. Put in there what you need. That's the key, folks. If you want better job applicants, career applicants, if you want quality people to come to your organization, then put in your job description what documents you need and figure out a way to have a save button so they can come back to their progress. It is so ridiculous that you are asking for a bunch of things. You have no idea what's coming. You have no idea what the person is in the middle of doing, right? Sometimes I see things and you would go, oh yeah, let's apply for that, right? That's a dream job or something. And you're like sitting here and you got 30 minutes. Got 30 minutes. And then you're 27 minutes into the thing. And you're like, okay. You're asking me to spend 27 minutes and then you hit me with this? And I got to come back and do it all over again?
Write a 1,500 word essay on why we should hire you as a candidate or why you're the best candidate for this job, which, by the way, I hate those questions. Why they
because everyone's doing AI now. Why am I?
Everyone's doing AI now. You know what? One other, let's say, bump in the hiring process that I have seen a close relative go through recently, which I think also inhibits good candidates coming into positions, Steve. And you know what close relative I'm talking about, but I'm not going to say more than that here. But he was unemployed after being laid off. He was unemployed for about 9 months.
How many years in that industry?
Yeah, he was in the industry for over 20 years, like 25 years.
Right.
And had been doing, and it was a very, the type of position is the type of position that has a very specific set of skills. Going some Liam Neeson here. So he should have been a desired commodity. And so he would apply for positions and they would go through this like, okay, I think that he would get an email or, he rarely got a call, occasionally got a call, but he would set up an interview. They would do like a Zoom interview and he would do that. And it's like, okay, and he would think, oh, I've done very good. We'll get back to you in a week or two to tell you if you're going to make it to the next round. Well, instead it'll be 3 or 4 weeks, Steve. And then maybe he gets an email saying he wasn't moved forward to the next round. Or maybe he was told, but he's like already moved on, and he's looking at it like, I'm already in this hiring process with this other, what's this? I like this other one now. It's offering more money, and then he would have that. Let's say he got into that second round, have that interview. Then they would have like another interview where they'd have like four people. He'd have four faces on his Zoom screen besides himself.
Yeah.
And maybe they send him an email to tell them that they've moved on with another candidate. Maybe they don't.
Yeah,
Maybe they say,
it's so
reach out.
disrespectful now. And the idea here is, folks, I get it. There's risks involved. There's legal risks involved. Be careful of the questions that you can ask. Be careful of the leading questions that you can't ask. California, you can't ask if you got a criminal history until you get on with the interview process and you make an offer. Which, certain sectors, that's a real bummer because I can't hire a felon, period, because of where we work. So, but I'm a private company, so I got to go through that BS. And that's I get what the government's trying to do, but it's a complete waste of time for me because I'm never going to hire a felon. So you're going to have to tell me, might as well tell me up front and not waste your time or my time, because I don't care if you're a felon or not. I'm never hiring a felon because I can't.
You can't. Yeah.
Because you can't work in the sectors that we are working in, period. I mean, you could work. Yeah. We're not at a place yet where we have a warehouse or something on the inside that you could do from the inside. So that's not going to work. Right. The second piece is, we see this all the time. Give me your high school transcript. Well, now you know how old I am.
Yep.
So there's a lot of things. I see a lot of things in here which are not, because we did a little research here. I see things all the time where it's like, hey, put down your race and all this stuff. It's not optional. And that's not appropriate either. So there's a bunch of stuff you should not be doing. But here's the key. Make it easy for your folks to apply. And I would say go super simple, because the reality of it is now, if you're using the software, all you're doing is you went from point A to point B. You used to go like this. Now you go, here's point B, and you go A, B, D, 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 and you're wasting your time and you're wasting the applicant's time. And if you're going to actually go for a position, then put the time and effort into it to do it right. And so what I would say is, if you're looking at guys and gals and whoever that you want to apply, tell them what the documents are that they need. Tell them what they need to have to apply for your position. Like, forget the cover letter, because all that's happening now is I take your job description that you posted, I take it into ChatGPT. It already has my resume and all my salient information. And I say, write me a cover letter for this job description.
Yep.
So all you're doing is testing.
Look weird, and then boom.
Yeah. And then you upload that. And so every job that you could apply for has a custom cover letter, which doesn't mean a dang thing. Because you said to the software, these are the skills I want. Click, 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 click. Write me a job description. It went, and then I said, here it is. Write it back. I got that. And your software scans for the skills. I know how it works. But the point is, skip all that junk, because it's junk. Yeah. Upload your resume, get them on there. Spend the time, instead of doing all that, spend the time actually screening the individual. You'll learn a lot. I sat on an interview panel, and this guy was great on paper, wonderful. But then came in, face tattoos, neck tattoos, like,
Right.
very smart and everything, but I'm not sure that that's the kind of person you want to put in front of school teachers.
Yep.
And we all have life choices to make, and whatever. But some of the things that were on his face, I can't.
Yeah.
First words and all this, it's like.
Yeah, can't have that in front of parents or kids or anything like that.
But it's super smart person, and you're not going to find that out from a letter.
Right. Right. You hire someone sight unseen, you're really taking a risk. You don't know who's going to walk in that door.
Yeah. So if you want quality candidates, if you want people to go through the process, put the list of things out there that you need, that you absolutely must have. Really think about what you must have, because a lot of the stuff you don't need right then and there. And then have a save button, have a progress button. Let them jump ahead and fill things out. Let them come back to things and fill things out. Understand that if you're asking for transcripts or things and people are, 15, 20 years outside of that, hey, it's not going to be readily available or handy right then and there,
Yeah.
Yep. So I don't know. Sometimes, people that are unemployed, that's what they are doing. They're sitting down and trying to complete these job applications. But understand, they have kids, they have house payments, they still need haircuts, they still have things that they have to go do. And, sometimes they're rushing up against a deadline, and you're going to miss out because you don't have the foresight to say, this is what you need to bring. Otherwise, I can save that post. I can go collect the documents, make sure I have it. Because I've seen, dude, it's like crazy. It's crazy. I've seen it. It's like, the transcript is just one thing that comes up very easily. But sometimes it's like, you want a copy of what? Where did that come from? Because you had some a-hole that worked for you before, and you're like, oh, well, let's make sure we don't have that. I know how this whole process starts, because we do it too. It's like, we need someone smart. How smart? Oh, master's degree? No, PhD. No, not that smart. How about, well, wait a minute. How about we do a bachelor's? What about these designations? Like, okay, calm down. So, get rid of anything that can be done with AI that is just going to be more BS for your software to sort through and everything else.
Yeah.
And really think about what it is that you're looking for. And then give the heads up, be transparent, tell people what they need to bring to this thing beforehand. Because so many times, I don't know, in this world, Matt, I just feel like, can you be prepared and be a good person and come to an interview without certain things? Yeah. Because you're the only organization asking for that.
Yeah. Exactly.
We go, well, I'm not a mind reader. I don't have a crystal ball. And that's exactly true. I don't, I can be prepared if you tell me what I need. Like if you tell me I'm going camping, but you don't tell me we're going to stop and do fishing. I'm supposed to bring fishing gear.
Right.
You told me we're going camping, but you didn't tell me we were going to go take a helicopter ride with it.
Right.
Like camping means X to certain people, and camping means things to other people. Did I bring my sleeping bag and pillow and some extra food and clothes and those things? Yeah. Things to start fire with? Yeah. Did I didn't know we were going to go shooting. I didn't know we were going to go fishing. I didn't know. You just said one day,
Right.
Right. So, what event? Oh, we're going to go to dinner. Okay. Where? Because dinner, a lot of different dinners. Do I need a tie? Do I need a jacket? I can be prepared if I know what I'm supposed to prepare. So
that's a great example, Steve, because remember I told you Of course, I had my birthday last week, and I told you I had a couple friends who were offering to
Yeah.
take me out to dinner in the next week or so. Well, that dinner is happening tonight, and this particular friend, he's taking me somewhere nice, and he told me, "Hey, it's business casual." He was prepared to let me know, "Hey, don't show up in shorts and a t-shirt and flip flops or,
Right.
or Crocs. Wear something nice,
Right.
so I'm going to be wearing something nice." And he had the foresight to know that as a hiring manager, you should also be prepared to provide that information to applicants, to
Right.
potential.
Absolutely.
Remember, the air applicants are potentially individuals who will help your company and help you do your job.
Right.
And you got to put your face forward. To tossing in on top of what you were saying, Steve, about the process inside, like being clear about what you do. Simplify that process, everybody,
Yeah.
and get back as much as possible to face, so you can really get a measure of someone and understand who they are and what they're about. And then also remember, you are interviewing human beings.
Yep.
I don't care if you're interviewing 100 people. Every single person that you speak to deserves your care and attention directly to them. So that means if you tell them you're going to send them an email in
Send
a
the
week,
email.
send the email.
And stop sending stupid form emails.
Yes.
I know it's easy for you and I got so much to do. Well, that's your job.
Yep.
Like, I would rather they send me a text message and say, "Hey, sorry. You know what? We looked at you. Blah, blah, blah. Hey, sorry." But make it personal.
Yep.
Call them real quick. Leave a voicemail message. Go back to the old days. Because the form letters, because all I hear is, you go, "Why are people depressed? Why are people unhappy?" Because they got 400 rejection letters that all say the same thing. And they say, no one cares. No one cares about me. No one cares about me. Well, that may very well be true. You don't really fit that organization. And I've heard that too. Right. Well, what do you mean I don't fit? On what basis? I meet all your requirements. I'm not a good fit. Not a good fit. That doesn't even make sense. You haven't even talked to the person. So, there's a lot of things. And then you go, okay, what does that translate to? That's the second piece of this, is how you treat that person. Remember, bad news travels faster. I've already told you about the restaurant we were at in Monterey.
Yes. Yep.
I didn't tell you about the great experience I had last night with my daughter on her birthday, and it was fantastic. And so the point is, you need to treat people well, because I'm going to tell you about that experience. Don't even worry about applying to that company. They suck.
Yep.
I wouldn't work there. They treat their people terrible. I wouldn't work for OpenAI for that. Those board members thought they were so clever, and now everybody's like, those board members are a-holes because all they do is send you a video link. How disrespectful. The only reason that you are a board member on ChatGPT is because that guy created that company and you were able to serve on it. So, we all have reputations and we throw them out there every day. So, stop using the ChatGPT to do everything for you. I mean, it's a blessing and a curse. You got to know when to use it. But if you think you're being cute and getting all this stuff with your applicants, and then you say, "I can't find quality people. I can't find quality people." Well, there's why, because quality people don't put up with death by a million little cuts. We just don't.
Yep.
And, probably will never tell you about it. I'll walk away. Matt and I are never going back to that restaurant in Monterey, ever. I don't care who wants to go there and go by themselves. I'm never going back there because the training program stinks. The response stunk. And you got one shot with me. We've been there a few times, but you got one bad like really bad.
Yeah. What one bad eliminates it. I saw that a lot of time in my own experience in a restaurant. There are plenty of times I had people, they had 5, 10, they were almost regulars. I could recognize that they have one bad experience and I'd never see them again.
Yep, exactly. And trust me, we get the same thing too. We've been thrown out on our ear because, hey, someone didn't like the way we didn't give a trigger warning.
Right.
It's the way it works. It's unfortunate.
Yep.
But you know, if someone would talk to, I mean, no one even gave me an opportunity to talk to him. But it happens. So that's the key, folks. List it out, make it easy, make it savable. Let me come back, get rid of the crap that can be auto-generated that doesn't mean a thing. And other than that, have a great Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. We are thankful for all our viewers. Don't forget to subscribe. We got some hot Black Friday deals. I mean, hot, Matt. We are giving so hot, baby. We are giving our Dollar Training Club platform unlimited users, unlimited course views, unlimited administrators, $500 for the annual. So if you have a company, got a company, 1,200 people, hey, guess what?
Yep.
$500, and you can train them. And we're constantly adding new content to that platform. So we're going to be doing the SB 553 for the workplace violence. That's out there. Yep. Any new clients, 20% off. Don't forget to subscribe to all of our social media, especially on the YouTube. Please do that. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us. Subscribe, please. Don't forget to check out all our great platforms. We are on Udemy, so if you're an organization there, but like I said, better off just going right to Dollar Training Club. Much cheaper, much better. But we're running Black Friday, and with that, I mean, we're already given an incredible deal on our workplace violence prevention program, which is going to have the training and the video and the forms and all that kind of stuff. We're going to do it for $500 for Black Friday. We're knocking another $200 off that thing. $300 for a written policy that's in compliance, designed by me, written by me. It's going to keep you out of trouble. And our training video to go along with that. That training video will be on Dollar Training Club as well, so you can get that there too. But if you're just looking for just the workplace violence and you want the policy, you can buy the policy by itself. But that's all out there. Black Friday. It's the brightest Black Friday you'll ever see.
So bright. Luminescent.
It's so bright. You can still buy Christmas gifts. All right. Well, with that, we'll see you on the next episode of the Risk Control Show.
See you, everybody.